morning. I'm Jan Kearce, and I am a senior leader and program director for the leadership programs of MDF. And joining me in that is Julie Bean, who you'll meet in just a few moments. She runs the Policy Leaders Academy. She partners with me for Leadership Maine. And of course, we have ICL and the Realize Maine Network, and Julie has been doing a fantastic job of growing that network and ensuring that young people in Maine want to stay here. So I'm here to talk about a special graduate of the ICL program. And I think you've heard already that these programs have been around for 30 years. We're graduating our 30th class. Somebody here was in the second, and somebody here was in the last. So we have Tony Payne and Rob Atkinson joining on stage. Jonathan Cross was supposed to be here. Cross Insurance is a sponsor of this award, but I have not seen him come in the room yet. Jonathan Cross, if you're in the room, come on up. No? Okay. Every year, the ICL Distinguished Award is given to an alum of the Institute for Civic Leadership, now in its 30th year. You'll hear that a lot this year. Nominations come from other alums, and the winners are chosen from a highly competitive pool. It's one of our tasks that we have each year, and it's very hard. And oftentimes, multiple people are nominating the same person, and that helps us to just so you know if you want to get together and nominate one of your fellow classmates. That's the way to get it done. Awardees have a deep and broad impact on individuals, organizations, communities, and Maine as a whole, and we really look at that as criteria. They personify the ICL principles and lead through building their team's capacity for leadership, fostering inclusion, ensuring good process. How many people remember the Golden Triangle? Come on, please. Okay, we're gonna have to do a refresher. Yeah. And achieving, of course, the desired results. This year's winner models this leadership every day in ways large and small, and does it with his signature bow tie. I'm glad you're wearing that today. Tony Payne is a member of the 1995 Beta class. Do y'all know the Greek alphabet? Alpha, Beta, second class. He is well known across Maine and beyond in his role as Senior Vice President of External Affairs with MIMIC, and quite a few folks from MIMIC are here in honor of Tony's award this year. Tony grew up in Portland, graduated from Cheverus High School, and earned a BA from Hobart College, and has been involved in so many aspects of economic development and creating inclusive cultures across Maine that it would be easier to say what he hasn't done. But I'm gonna try to give you a little bit of a glimpse here. Here's a short list. He currently serves on the University of Maine School of Business Advisory Board. That's a challenge these days, I'm sure. And the Advisory Board of Live and Work in Maine, which is all about bringing new people in. He is a former member and chair of the University of Southern Maine Board of Visitors, as well as a board member of the Portland Regional Chamber, where he chaired the Advocacy Committee. He has served on the boards for Atlantic Bank, Maine Education Loan Authority, the Portland Club, the Cumberland Club, ICL, Public Relations Council, Maine Council on Economic Education, Pine Tree Watch, Maine Center for Reporting in the Public Interest, Cheverus High School, and North Yarmouth Academy. And that wasn't all of the list. I heard he's going to retire. Where's your wife, Tony? Is he really? Is he really? That's what I want to know. Tony's impact goes beyond organizational service. He is also fully engaged with every person he meets. His steady gaze, listening skills, and genuine curiosity mark his presence as a colleague and as a leader. And I've watched him tear up a bit this morning as he has listened to others. He is what Malcolm Gladwell calls a super connector, someone who is the hub at the center of a cultural wheel, who connects all the different spokes and helps us all move in the same direction. Tony is also an artist, a musician, a mentor who supports others with compassion, and when necessary, tough love. He is an unwavering believer in ICL. Let's watch.
I think it was my first week here at MIMIC. Tony looked at me and he said, "You're going to go to ICL." And I said, "What's that?" And he took me and he's like, You're going to love it. You know, you're going to go camping. You'll probably be thrown from a tree or something, but you'll love it, you know? And I was like, what? What are you talking about?
The ICL really has informed what I've been able to accomplish in the community to be what I, again, think is the greatest organizational development program in the entire state. The thing I love about the intensive was the outward bound experience. So we had to hike mountains together. We had to do, problem solving. We had to actually, at the time, the program today, I think, is a ropes course. We actually scaled the face of a cliff, which was really interesting with ropes and belaying. And, one of the parts that I remember the best was we had a state legislator in our group, a Democrat, and I was known as an active Republican at the time. And I'm up the face of the cliff, and she's on belay down below, and she says, "Tony, who's your favorite Democrat?" I said, "Oh yeah, no, it's you." The biggest lesson, and I tell everybody, is you really need to look around to see who's missing in the conversations that are important to getting to a solution. In fact, with diversity, equity, and inclusion, these are all the lessons that we today are learning that were already part of the program back in 1994 and 95. And what we've done here at MEMIC as a great example is we've decided that because Maine's greatest existential threat is our age demographics, we're trying very hard to make sure that we're reaching out and engaging those in the nonprofit sector, particularly who are serving new Americans, veterans, LGBTQ+, and all the other marginalized groups that are ready and willing to be in the workforce. Here, for the older generation, you need to be able to listen and adapt and draw from your younger work colleagues. And young work colleagues, you need to ask good questions of people who have enormous experience.
And I remember going into one Christmas, we met for breakfast, and he brought me this little penguin figurine that he makes out of clay. And I think it's just a hobby, something that he enjoys doing. And he has a bunch of them. I think he gives them to people over the years. And I have one. It's now moved with me 3 or 4 times. So I love my penguin. I think, what would Tony do? What would Tony say? Because there are a few times, I will say, being in Tony's orbit, and he's been on the board of Live and Work in Maine since I joined. And he and MEMIC were one of the first groups that really leaned in to Live and Work in Maine. They signed on as an employer partner, as an advisory board member, and donated money so that we could get off the ground. And Tony in those meetings is always the one to just make sure that, are we being inclusive? Are we thinking through who's not at the table? That we need to make sure that that voice is heard.
Tony's legacy at ICL lives on every year. Not a lot of people probably know this, but Tony is the one who developed this, the plaque that every ICL student recognizes, of course, because at the end of the program, they're awarded this beautiful carabiner in lucite. If you bring the appropriate people together in constructive ways with good information, they will create authentic visions and sustainable responses to issues and opportunities within their communities and organizations. And he lives it every day.
Just to add one more comment, what you heard those speakers talking about are at the essence of ICL. This guy lives it. That's why he's on this stage. I just want to congratulate you once again, Tony. Also, President Jonathan Cross asked that we share this, and that MEMIC is an amazing partner of Cross Insurance. We really appreciate Tony's contribution to the insurance industry and to MDF.